First of all, let me apologize for not being there in person. I had decided to take a couple of days off after the election, came up to my house here in North Carolina, and the last thing I thought I was going to have to do is get dressed and get ready and get back there, but I will be back by the weekend. So here's what we know so far. This morning, 3 of our motor officers out of the traffic division were working traffic enforcement out on Southern Boulevard, that's State Road 80. And they were doing it between 20 Mile Bend and Pratt Whitney Boulevard, clocking cars that were coming eastbound in those lanes. One of the motormen, after a contact with one of the motorists, could not get his motorcycle started, so he thought he had a dead battery. So he called the other 2 over to help him, moved the bike off the road. They were all 3 on the grassy area on the shoulder of the road, and they were going to wait for another PBSO vehicle to come with some battery cables. Eastbound was a vehicle driven by a female. She was in the center lane and obviously came upon a vehicle that was going much slower than she was and took action to veer to the right, which was in the same direction as the shoulder of the road. She overcompensated, got off the road, and then struck all 3 of the motor officers, at which time all 3 went airborne in different directions. The officer and deputy that were headed that way actually saw what had happened and was able to get over there and call some assistance. The paramedics got out there. All 3 of them were transported to St. Mary's Hospital. Unfortunately, 2 of them were deceased. The 3rd one went to surgery, is now in ICU. He's in critical but stable position, and hopefully he's going to make it. But it's a bad crash. We are jointly investigating this with FHP. Our traffic homicide division is working it in conjunction with them. It's going to be an extensive investigation. Preliminarily right now, and there's more tests to be done. It doesn't look like the driver was impaired. It just looks like one of those things where she overcompensated and got off the road. Terry Barbera will furnish all of you with all the information, personal information on the 3 deputies that were involved in this crash. And you'll have that with a picture of them within the next half hour, 45 minutes. So that's where we're at right now. Horrific accident. But, I tell people all the time, law enforcement, public safety, and the military are the only professions. When you leave the house and kiss your family goodbye, that might be the last time. And here's the example of it. I'm sure that these deputies, not in their wildest dreams, thought that this was going to happen to them today. So, when a deputy dies, a piece of the community dies with them. It's tough. I plan on, I plan on talking to the family later today on the phone. I will meet with them when I get back over the weekend. And in the meantime, we're going to be planning what the funeral arrangements are for them, which I'm sure will be in the Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday time frame. So that's what we know right now, folks. I'll take a few questions.